and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be reviewing the company Krave Beauty. Now of course I can't review the entire company because I don't have, I think it's like 3 of their products. I don't use SPF because I am not really outside with my face exposed enough to feel like I need to wear SPF. I also don't have their barrier shield type of formula. I have Stratia, and so from my research and my studies, the two are very, very similar. And so right now I'm kind of going through my Stratia, and I will be the liquid gold, and I'll be reviewing that for you guys as well. So if you guys are interested in that, I will have that review soon for you. So I'm actually kind of waiting until I'm almost done with the Stratia, and then I'm going to buy the barrier support one from Krave. And then I think they have like an AHA, BHA formula. I haven't really gotten into chemical exfoliation yet because I'm actually recovering from a damaged moisture barrier. So that is where I am coming from when I am here presenting skincare items to you guys, is I'm coming from a place, and I'll do a video separately about this in the future, but I am coming from a damaged moisture barrier that I have been struggling with for about the past almost 2 years now. That is what made me appeal to Krave Beauty, was because she is all about protecting the moisture barrier. She is about using good ingredients, simple ingredients. I am an idealist when it comes to skincare, hair care, in that I would ultimately love to keep my skincare as simple as possible. Now, does that mean that I don't have multiple items in my skincare routine? No, that's not exactly what I mean, but I want to, when possible, to keep my products as clean as possible and as straightforward as possible. And that is something that I am loving about Krave Beauty. So I only have 2 of their items, as you can see here. I have their Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser, which I have just heard nothing but amazing things about. It is pH balance, which is really important, especially when you're trying to protect sensitive skin, or you're trying to help kind of regain your moisture barrier, which is what I'm trying to do. And it got to the point where I was trying all of these natural alternatives to wash my face. I'm like such a hippie at heart, and I wanted so badly for that stuff to work and for me to be like, yes, I found this solution. But I didn't find the solution in all of my natural beauty go-tos, and you know what? That's okay. But what I did find relief in was Krave Beauty, and these are 2 of probably the best products I have ever tried in my life when it comes to skincare. I have heard nothing but amazing reviews on the Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser, but I'm not gonna lie, you guys, I have not heard very good reviews on the Oh So Simple Moisturizer. And I thought that it was really important for me to come on here and do this moisturizer justice, do this brand justice, and talk for a minute about this Oh So Simple moisturizer. This is a water cream moisturizer. Now, what I have heard is that it's nothing special. It's too simple. You know, it doesn't really have anything to offer. It's just a basic moisturizer. I've heard it's not moisturizing enough. My skin is dry within the hour, within a couple hours. You know, I've heard, you know, it just doesn't work for them. They prefer something more. You know, I've heard about, you know, the price point in particular. So we're going to go through the pros and the cons of both of these products. So let's first talk about the Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser. So the Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser, it says on here that it's barrier-friendly antioxidant cleanser. It includes matcha and hemp seeds, oats, almonds, vitamin B5, and sodium PCA. So now when it says hemp seeds and oats, you're not going to actually get an exfoliation from this. So don't worry. It's not like an apricot scrub, right? It is actually a jelly consistency. I hesitate to waste it, but I want you guys to see. This is a gel consistency, okay? So it's almost like a hair gel. That's kind of how I compare it to. It is so soft on the skin. You guys, this is about as much cleanser as I need to cleanse my whole face at nighttime. So don't think that you even need this much. It foams up so beautifully. It goes on the skin so nice, you guys. Like, see how it's almost kind of gooey? Now that might turn some people off, but if you have sensitive skin, if you have dry skin, if you have a damaged moisture barrier, this is going to feel so soothing on your skin. That texture, that jelly texture, is going to feel so cooling and soft on your skin. It's not like a liquidy, type cleanser. It's not a thick, creamy cleanser that you're wondering, like, is this even cleaning? And it is not stripping at all. Oh my gosh, you guys, like, my skin feels so nice after I wash this off. Like, honestly, when I got this in the mail, I was so excited to try it because me and facial cleansers don't really go. I was able to use facial cleansers, up until I was probably about 25, and then I moved away from using traditional facial cleansers because I just started to feel like they were too stripping. They were stripping all of my natural oils off of my face. And this is so not like that, because I feel like I've found my ride or die. And if you're like me and you've just found so many products that don't work for you, especially if you have sensitive skin, especially if you're going through a damaged moisture barrier, you have probably struggled so much with skincare that when you find something that works for you, you're just like, oh, you're like, yes, thank you. I love their packaging. I love kind of this minimalistic look. It's got kind of that soft matte plastic. It's not like that shiny type plastic. I know that they try to be as eco-friendly as possible about their packaging. And I've only really heard on reviews that people are giving Krave a hard time for plastic packaging, which I think is quite silly because a lot of people actually don't really know what goes into the shipment and the packaging of packaging skincare items. Like for me, for instance, I am a small, indie brand as well. And some of my products do come in glass. And the glass is heavy, y'all. Something that might only cost 1 ounce now, weighs 1 ounce, now weighs 3 ounces. So sometimes that's a matter of somebody paying first class shipping and then having to pay priority shipping. And so that makes a difference of a $3.50 shipping cost that might end up having to cost the consumer now almost $8 simply because you're giving them glass packaging. Yes, glass packaging is nice and it looks fancy and it's pretty. Like, for instance, I have this glass packaging, right? So okay, would that actually be much more appealing? I don't know. I don't know if it would be more appealing in that glass package than it is here in this plastic package. But the thing that people don't realize is that it can be very expensive and actually very wasteful to package glass items. So the company, from my knowledge, manufactures in Korea. So this kind of makes it like a Korean-American hybrid, was kind of how I was told or, understood this brand to be, which I'm American and I'm into Korean skincare. So that kind of fit for me. So anyways, so for me, I have no issue with the plastic packaging, but also that's because I know what goes into shipping plastic packaging. Every time I get a glass package in the mail, it is wrapped in bubble wrap. Each individual pack is usually wrapped in bubble wrap. And then on top of that, there's probably more plastic. And then on top of that, there's probably those plastic peanuts as well. So the thing is, you guys, is that if Krave decided to use glass packaging, they would still be using tons of plastic, not only for these containers to be shipped from Korea to America, but then they have to unpack it. That means all of that plastic is going to waste, and then they have to repackage it in plastic to send it to the consumer to make sure that they get it without it being broken. Now, of course, are there eco-friendly options to wrapping, glass packages that, doesn't consume a lot of plastic? Yes. But again, it makes the product much more expensive because those alternatives are more expensive, which means the business has to pay for that, which makes the product more expensive. I believe this moisturizer runs about $28, which I know even when I say that, I'm like, ooh, that sounds like a lot for a moisturizer, right? Especially when you can go to the drugstore and, get a CeraVe or a whatever other brand there is for, more than half the price, right? Personally, CeraVe didn't work for me. That'll be another time I might talk about that, products that didn't work for me. It will be endless. So anyways, for me anyways, I have no issue with the plastic, and I like to think of myself as a pretty eco-conscious consumer. I do have a brand where I'm very eco-conscious with all of my shipping stuff as well. So anyways, I have no issue with the plastic packaging. I actually think it looks quite nice. Now, I wish I had the box for the Matcha Hemp Cleanser, because I do think it has all the ingredients and everything on it, but that's okay. Just go ahead, research the ingredients. They're really good. It's fairly simple and straightforward. Like I've become crazy about looking at ingredients and really understanding what's going into certain products, especially too because I'm formulating my own products, so it kind of helps to know, like, oh, okay, this has this in it and it has this in it. So like, for example, the Oat So Simple. So there's nothing negative I have to say about the Matcha Hemp Cleanser. I think it does retail about $19. Is that more than I would like to spend on a cleanser? Of course it is, but for me, it's worth it. I absolutely love it, so I don't mind. It takes a little while to go through cleansers, but so, and too, like I've heard people say, at the end of the day, this is a small indie brand. If they were a big corporation that was like in CVS and Walgreens and stuff, then of course their products could be a lot cheaper, but I don't mind. It's a good product. I'm all about kind of quality over quantity at the end of the day. I'd rather have just one really good cleanser than have like 3 or 4 that are like okay, right? So now let's go ahead and talk about the moisturizer. So I had told you some of the negatives I had heard about the moisturizer. This honestly made me hesitate so bad in buying it. On one hand, I was like, you know what? I kind of appreciate the simplicity. I kind of appreciate that it's a simple formula. I kind of appreciate that she's really concerned with the moisture barrier. And especially too, since it is fungal acne safe, I was like, okay, well, I don't have fungal acne, but that just goes to show how gentle the formula probably is. And I'm thinking, man, my skin's pretty messed up right now. Like, the last thing I need is a moisturizer that's got too much stuff in it, right? So I was actually kind of thrilled that there wasn't too much stuff in there, especially too much stuff that I didn't understand what the heck it was or what the purpose was for it, except for just to make it seem really fancy. I definitely, going through my journey, have, realized that I'm very sensitive to fragrances and essential oils. And essential oils is actually one thing that, really damaged my moisture barrier. So I was very torn because I was looking at review after review after review of this Oat So Simple water cream. And unfortunately, I'm not even gonna lie, about 90% of the reviews were not really that good. And I actually feel really bad for the brand for that. Because I personally love this moisturizer, you guys. And I have dry to normal skin, and I'm recovering from a damaged moisture barrier. I will put this disclaimer out there. I do live in a very humid climate. I live in almost subtropics, right? I'm in the south. It's very beachy. It's very tropical. So yes, I have the friend of humidity, or the frenemy, depending on how you look at it. But the humidity is my friend in this situation because I don't live in a very dry climate. I think that it helps to keep this moisturizer more moisturized on my skin. And I've heard a lot of reviews saying, hey, if you have oily skin, if you have acne prone skin, if you have fungal acne skin, then this is the moisturizer for you. Honestly, like I said, I have dry to normal skin and I'm recovering from moisture barrier damage. And yes, I do live in a humid climate, but I love this moisturizer, you guys. And I do have to say that yes, it soaks up into your skin fast. And it soaks up so much to where if you do touch your skin, it almost feels like you don't have anything on. But I like to ask you this question. Does that mean that it's no longer there doing something? Or does that just mean that the formula is so good and so nice that your skin drinks it up and actually benefits from it? Because just because your skin feels like it doesn't have lotion on it doesn't mean that what you put on your skin isn't actually moisturizing it. And what I've noticed is I put this on in the morning time and I put it on at nighttime. When I put it on in the morning time, my skin feels like it doesn't have anything on it. My skin feels dry, like there's no moisturizer on my skin. But once I add a little bit of water to my face, my skin almost kind of has this layer of gumminess. Now that might not sound appealing. I'm probably not describing it really well. But once you apply a little bit of water to your face, it's almost like it reactivates the lotion that has been absorbed into your skin. And you will be able to tell, oh, the moisturizer actually still is there. It's not gone. And I don't think a lot of people wet their face throughout the day. So I think a lot of people who probably have used this moisturizer and think that like, oh, it's disappeared, now my face feels dry, aren't going back into their bathroom, a couple times a day to splash a little bit of water on their face. So they're not going to know this, but I know this because I have to do that. So I will say that although the formula seems to soak up into your skin, the lotion is still there. It's still present. It's just, it has a drying, like the lotion dries. And you know what? That's what I kind of want, because I don't want a lotion that is going to make my face feel all sticky and gross all day. Yes, I want my moisturizer to be moisturizing, but what I have noticed about some moisturizers that people just absolutely love and rave about, oh my gosh, it's so moisturizing, I can put it on at night and in the morning my skin still feels moisturized. You know what? When I put that onto my skin, for at least like the first 3 hours, my skin feels so sticky and tacky. And again, I live in a humid climate. So the last thing I want is to feel like I am like in a sauna with goo on my face for the next 3 or 4 hours. You know what I mean? So take it from me, I love this moisturizer. So you can see, I mean, I've gone through quite a bit of it and I haven't had it for very long. I will say that the downside about this is that if you are using it twice a day, I do think that you probably are going to go through it pretty fast. They do give a little spatula to you so that you're not dipping your fingers in there, for bacteria purposes. So I always use the spatula. I took the little cover off, so I just kind of set this like on top of the moisturizer after I use it. I couldn't stand to keep pulling that thing out. I use about a kidney size bean amount. I will go ahead and show you the texture. Again, I don't want to waste it because it's so expensive. Like I said, I do think that this runs about $28 or so, which is a little bit out of my budget. But again, it just has been so nice for me, especially too, like if you have rosacea, if you have eczema, if you have super sensitive skin. Oh my gosh, my bracelet. Let's cover that up. It has just this super nice watery texture to it. It's just, I really, really like it. I will be repurchasing it. I actually had a bit of irritation from a skincare item. I don't know what it is yet. I think I've pinpointed what it might be, but I'm not 100% sure just yet because I'm afraid to use it again to ensure myself that that's what irritated my skin. But I almost had like rosy inflamed cheekbones for like 24 hours, and I needed to moisturize my face though. And I straight away went to Oat So Simple, and it was just so soothing. There's nothing irritating about it. It's just really nice, you guys. And I'm so glad that I finally decided to purchase it. And, so sometimes you have to take reviews with a grain of salt, and just go for it. If you've been wanting to get a product, but you're not so sure because maybe the reviews haven't been the best, just do it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you might end up not liking it. That's the worst that's gonna happen, right? This is my review about Krave Beauty, in particular the Oat So Simple Water Cream and the Matcha Hemp Hydrating Cleanser. I'm sorry this video was so long. This is the first time I have done a review on a company. I was going to be just doing single reviews so that they're much shorter, but I thought it would be appropriate to kind of do both items at the same time together since they're both from the same company, versus just doing one on that and one on that, you know what I mean? So anyways, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Check out Krave Beauty. I will leave a link down below for you guys to check out. Thumbs up the video if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.